So, I'm listening to people talk about the Democratic Party, and a lot of people continue to say that the Democrats have gone so far left, right, with their stance on the Electoral College or their position on the border or any number of other things. They've gone so far to the left. They have in some ways, but really they've taken a turn towards unreasonability. There's no argument to be had. There's no discussion to be made over their point. Their point is so unreasonable. Their position, their stance, their platform is so unreasonable that to merely disagree with it makes you their enemy. And the more intelligent ones go along with this on purpose because it shuts down argument. And so it facilitates that football team mentality, and they drag people on board with emotional persuasion rather than anything to do with the rationality of their stance. And so I think people should address it more like this. In certain ways, Democrat policies are further to the left than they were, certainly. But the chaos and the fracture and the insanity that we see from their positions is not further to the left. It's just further into the insane and irrational. And it's because they don't have an argument, they don't want an argument, and it's evidenced by some of their very positions. They don't like the Electoral College because they don't want to go into rural areas and make an argument for their point. They would rather use the law of averages. The idea that the more people you have, you're guaranteed a few sales. They used to tell us this in a marketing job I had, that it didn't matter how many people said no. It only mattered how many businesses you could contact in a day, because statistically, some of those were guaranteed to say yes. And so if you could hit a certain threshold of contacts, you would be guaranteed a certain amount of income. And it's true. It really works out that way. That's why we have these statistical models, because they mirror reality pretty well. And so people like AOC and the Democrats at large who don't like the Electoral College is because they would rather play off of that rule of a sale that's guaranteed by virtue of having a large audience. That way their arguments don't need to make sense. They don't need to benefit Americans. They don't need to do anything other than whatever despicable personal goals these people have for their own lives, which seems to be the only reason that they make policy, since it certainly isn't to benefit us. Good luck.